Right, family.
No offense to you. Don't waste your time. Here's why.
Because I'm
clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
That's it. November 19, 2013.
Happiness is the truth.
Happiness is the truth. Clap along. Come on board our friendship train. That's right. Want to do. First, I give thanks for the creative force of this universe, and I give thanks to my mother, Shirley Hardy. Greetings to you all in love and kindness. You are listening to Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K on the airways of Inner Light Radio, the healing frequency. Thank you for joining us and sharing with us how you are moving from disease care to conscious self-health care. Call in and share about the provider that is assisting you on this journey to total wellness. We wish to honor your walk from the old belief system of disease treatment for correcting your cellular malfunction. You see, family, community, it's not selfish to love yourself, take care of yourself, and make your happiness a priority. That's why my new intro song is Come Get Happy. Because when you come on aboard this friendship train, the first thing we do is tell you to find a joy and happiness in your heart. Being healthy starts with being happy. Those who are happy are much healthier. So this is a live broadcast. You can email your questions or comments to innerlightradio@yahoo.com. That's innerlightradio@yahoo.com. Or you can Facebook Brother Jamal. You can call in 310-928-7733. That's 310-928-7733. You must mute your phone. You are entering a live chat room, and I will invite you to join the conversation by your phone number or your Skype name. So when you enter the chat room, we do ask you to hit that mute button right away. So welcome, family, community, to the Conscious Wellness Checkpoint. Now it's time, and you can check the pulse of your thoughts and see are those thoughts serving you with the direction that you choose to go in, or do you need to make a change in your thought process? My regular friends joining me in the chat room are Rachel Pope, Blessings Flow Empire, Waldorf, Maryland. Rachel, how you doing?
I was in my zone. I'm here.
Wonderful. Glad to have you on board this friendship train. We have Wanda Whitaker, anchored in spirit, Pacifica, California. How you doing, Wanda?
I'm in the love zone, too.
Woo-woo! Glad you're on board this friendship train with me. You know, all together we achieve more. It makes it so much fun. Joining us today in the chat room is David M. Hurt from the Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment. He's going to share with us the full moon and how or if it does affect us. Or, what is our connection to the full moon and what the full moon is trying to let us know about. And that's going to be a wonderful time. He should be coming in about 8 o'clock. So family and community, the truth of the matter is life is all about consciousness, and health is all about consciousness, and healing is a function of consciousness. So are you ready to heal? Are you ready to create what it is that you choose to have in your life? We are assisting each other with information so that we can make conscious self-healthcare moves when we are in doubt. Mental observation view is essential for success. So take a moment to take a deep breath and be still for a moment. Just be still for a moment. Listen to your breath and take a deep, deep, deep breath. And just relax and know that you are in the zone of love. God is a frequency, 528 megahertz, and that's what we're vibrating to. We want to introduce you to coming into the zone of love. This is some principles that you can use to ask yourself, am I vibrating to low frequency that's keeping me unhappy and taking my joy? Or am I vibrating to high frequency that I create so I can live in my joy, live in my happiness, and create what I want? So that's what we're sharing with you. The process of looking at how you've been doing things and maybe changing your perception about things. So again, we're going to be talking about happiness. We're going to be talking about epigenetics, included in the conversation that we're having with you, and just sharing with you information to get you in the zone, because when you're happy, you're healthy. When you're not focusing on all the frequencies that take you away from your joy and happiness, then you can find a way to get those things back so that you can be happy. So we're going to take a commercial break. I'm going to come back and share with my friends, and David will be joining us on the 8 o'clock hour. Are you at your wit's end because there seems to be no solution to your healthcare problem? Is it okay for me to say to you that you can have peace of mind? Take back control of your health. Are you experiencing anxiety, arthritis, diabetes, cancer, fibromyalgia, high blood pressure, lupus, chronic fatigue syndrome, any fictitious disease? Whatever your symptoms or diagnoses are, there is a conscious solution to transform the cause of your pain. Not treat symptoms or mask it. No prescription medication, no over-the-counter drugs, no organs removed are required. Take back control of your health by the renewing of your mind. You can create wellness today. Contact Dr. K, 202-248-7749. Visit us on the web, www.celllife.com. That's right, family. We're on this train ride. We're moving down this track to healthcare freedom. We invited you to come on board and join us on this train ride to healthcare freedom. So it's all about you creating your wellness, because no one else can do it for you. No one can say that you unhealthy. No one can say that you are healthy. Only you can. So let's look at our perception of how we've been looking at our human self and see if we can make that change in our own consciousness that I am healthy. You know, I'm not the matter. The mind is over the matter. So no matter what I've been vibrating to, I can shift my energy right now. And you know, Wanda and Rachel, I had such a wonderful time this weekend. I was invited to Howard University by the Wings of Life and the Residence Life Green Team. And Dr. Yu presented larger than life wellness health forum. And I'm telling you, these young people was on the one. That was a fantastic wellness health forum that they did. It started at 12:30 and didn't end till like 7:30 at night. They had different panels. They had different people on different panels. And I'm telling you, they threw them questions at us, and it was exciting.
I wish I was there, Karen.
Wanda, they was on the one. They had a spiritual wellness forum. Then they had the health and mental forum, and I was on both of those forums. They had live food living. They had nutrition. They had women's health panel with all women. Then they had the men health panel, and they were getting down. They were serious with the question that they were asking. And the thing about it is, everybody brought it back to you. It's all about you and what you're creating. And that was so powerful. With all the information that was given out and everybody expertise area and assisting everyone, but it all boiled down to what are you thinking and what is your perception that you are creating in your life. What you say to that, Wanda?
I just want to know, and how can we get more information? How can we get a hold of the information? Was the event taped? Or
Yes,
Right.
it sure was. The whole event, the platforms, all the panel discussions, it's going to be up on the Wings of Life site. I will let you know about it. This is a very active organization. They're in the community of Washington, D.C. These Howard graduates, undergrads, and attending school right now. And they're the alumni. They're all working together, and they're making this happen to reach the community and let everybody wake up to this 21st century understanding that we need to vibrate to, because we can upgrade all the things in our lives, but we choose not to upgrade our own thoughts and our own thinking. And these young people are showing us what it's all about. So yeah, as soon as it's up, I will let everybody know about it. Really, really exciting. The other thing was exciting too this weekend for me is, RAP Incorporated in Washington, D.C. celebrated 43 years of supporting the community. And they're breaking ground on their new building. That's going to be a green building. They're going to be able to support 100 more people to help them move from the thought of addiction to conscious self-health care, because it's all about how you're thinking, what's going on, what's in your mindset. So that was a fantastic time. I attended that with Dr. Kokai Patterson. He's been a part of the RAP family for all 43 years and the work that he does in the community. And it was just so exciting, Wanda and Rachel, being there as well. Because, in all the 43 years of RAP, I have never heard the mission statement that the participants speak. Those speak some powerful words. And I was sharing with Dr. Patterson that that should be on a card passed out in the community, because words have vibration. And that's what you're looking at, the energy from the words. And they have them people speaking some mighty, mighty powerful words. And I can see why rap survived for 43 years in the community.
That's awesome.
Rachel, you know about rap in the community?
Yes, I was a part of it a long time ago with IO. And that was my first time seeing Dr. Patterson back in the day. They had an event in the park, and those people were there, and I got to hear the history of him being involved. And I was very happy that I participated. It was my first time doing that outdoors with IO.
Yeah. That's
the
one
sun and everything.
Yeah.
It was, and he was just staring at me because, it was our first time. You know how it is being introduced in the community.
Yeah,
Same thing
sure
with
do.
me,
Yeah. So RAP, I'm telling you, Regional Addiction
is awesome.
Prevention Program, RAP. And so, we had Miss Aubra TQ on the show not too long ago, and she's recovered, and she was telling us how you don't just want to keep saying you're recovering, you want to fill that hole in your soul, and you want to know who you are. And that's what's unique about RAP Incorporated, that they bring in the Afrocentric, they bring in who you are, they want you to work from consciousness, not just recover from addiction, wanting you to fill that hole in your soul. So family and community, when you're looking to support a nonprofit this time of the year, I'm telling you, let's consider not giving to disease-mongering organization nonprofits. It's not really serving your community. Let's think about supporting organizations like RAP, Dr. Kai Patterson's organization, and any grassroots nonprofit organization that have proven themselves in the community for 20, 30, 45, 10 years, and you've seen the sisters and brothers out there doing their thing. If you give to them, give to your community. It's time to make this switch and support these individuals that have given so much of their time and their self through the years. So they have nonprofits, they're licensed, they're up to date. So it's time that we start supporting these individuals that have proven themselves in the community. Woo woo! What you say, Wanda?
I agree with that, Karen. As a matter of fact, it's time that we support not only organizations but services and stores and the small entrepreneur, but definitely who we haven't been paying that much attention to or given to is the grassroots organization that is struggling all the time just to keep their doors open.
Yeah.
but do so much for community. And it is about time that we start paying homage to them by honoring them with a contribution, a financial contribution of some sort.
You know
We
what? I
doing.
would
That's
like
one.
to add to
Go ahead,
that.
Rachel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking about that, I don't know if you guys are aware of the MacArthur Foundation, how they honor the people in the community in various lifestyles, whether you're a scientist or an artist. As long as you in the community helping humanity, they secretly award those people $500,000.
That's good to
So
know
they can
about.
continue. They don't have to pay it back. So they continue their mission.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's good. That
that's
sounds like
awesome.
that's awesome. That's the same thing that, my support in the community have always come from the Far Southeast Family Strength and Collaborative. My approach to healthcare is somewhat different. It's conscious self-health care. Everyone knows that I am a preventive drug doctor. That means I'm supporting you with getting off of medication, not ever looking at taking a pharmaceutical, not anything over the counter that they call in a pharmaceutical, because what breaks the body down, what slows down cellular productions, what causes your body to hold on to waste is taking pharmaceutical medication, period. We can be under the illusion that it's assisting us, but in the end of the day, what it does is breaks down the body because it's foreign. The cells are always fighting to push that garbage out of the body. Is worse than eating denatured food, taking pharmaceutical medication. And so that's what this show is all about, assisting you with getting happy, moving forward. We're inviting you on our friendship train to come and join us and make a change for yourself, because nobody can do it but you.
Karen, speaking of support, one way that people can support the movement is giving a financial contribution to your event.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you honored us with the Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery print. It's a print for the community. It's for the grassroots to have that print down in our community. Wanda, you can talk better about the print than myself, but we offer people the opportunity. You can go to my website, forcelllife.com, the number 4, CELLLIFE.com. As a matter of fact, that first page of my website, it introduces you to the frontier, the new frontier in healthcare, which is all about your consciousness and how we're able to tap into the fields, because everything is connected through the fields. And you can sit down and you can see from your human body field everything that's going on in your body. So on that first page, that's the first video that you're going to see. That yes, the things I've been thinking, how my body truly works, now there's a system in place to assist me with understanding what I've been doing to my own body, because that's what Ness does. And then as you come down the page, I love India Arie's song, I am light, because we are light, energy, and information. We got to stop looking from the material point of view. And so you have that video. And then when you come down, when we're talking about here, we're sharing the insights from Light Energy John Christopher. He is Jamila A. Shabazz, spiritual guide. And we're talking about being in the zone. Asking yourself, are you in the zone of love, of what is, or are you in the zone, out of the zone, and you're dealing with what ifs? And so when you understand these 5 principles, they will help you better evaluate what you're saying and what you're thinking and where your mindset is. And you can pull yourself into the zone with no assistance. So that 6-minute video is available right there on that front page to enlighten you to what we'll be doing here on this show as we share insights from Light Energy John Christopher. And then right at the end of that, you would see a video from Bruce Lipton talking to you about the new information of epigenetics, behavioral epigenetics, and how your thoughts control everything in your environment, your consciousness and your mindset, and how you can shift that energy. And then right underneath of that, you have the information on the Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day print from Wanda K. Whitaker, where we're asking you as organizations and individuals to decide to become a reseller, support your own organization while you enlighten and educate the community about how powerful they are with the I am, that they are a creator. So that's a powerful front page. Check out that information and call us back through the week and let us know how you vibrating it, and send us your emails, because this show is all for you. It's for us. It's to keep us in balance as we help you come into balance. How about that, ladies?
Well, Karen, one of the things we have to acknowledge is that all the information, all of the truth is in the non-physical.
Yeah.
All that's what we call dark matter, things that we cannot see, is where the truth is. And when we start, especially scientists, start measuring the non-physical, then we will have a lot of answers to questions that we've been asking ourselves for centuries.
That's so true. David is going to be coming on round about 8 o'clock. And so, people are listening to the show. They're putting posts out on Facebook and LinkedIn and different things. And so I got a post that I thought was really, really fitting because we're helping people move from disease care to conscious self-health care. And we're playing our song, Come Get Happy. Because when you're happy and you're in control, can't nobody bring you no bad news. You don't get caught up in it. You know what the truth is. You know where you are. And you know what you want to vibrate to. And so, yes, we are talking about being healthy starts with being happy. And so there was a post this week that was put out on Facebook. I want to share with y'all before David come on and get some feedback, and maybe we'll be assisting somebody else with looking at how they've been looking at themselves. So I'm going to share this with you. We're going to chat a little bit, and then Jamal, we're going to take a commercial break before we bring David on. So y'all ready? Y'all listen to this, ladies and listener audience, and think for yourself and write down some information because we know you got your pad and pen out because you're writing your own personal health care prescription plan from this show, moving yourself forward to conscious self-health care. So I won't say the person's name because I didn't get permission to say the name with this story, but I'm just going to share the story with you in general, and you tell me how the sister's vibrating to you all. She says, there is so much freedom in not looking to others for happiness. It's nobody's responsibility to make us happy. We create our joy, not our friends, parents, children, or partners. Please don't put that burden on them. Joy is something that comes from within. Everything outside of us is just an extra addition that will propel in some way whatever it is we already have going on inside. Happiness doesn't mean to be without struggle. It's just how we choose to react to our circumstances that will put us in a state of joy or misery. For me, one of the greatest ways to be free, to be joyous, is to learn myself. I have really started getting to know me. I like me. Most of the times, I accept and love me all the time. Knowing myself allows me to improve upon myself, to refine myself. And the more I know myself, the closer I become with myself. The more I know myself, the more I know God. The closer and stronger that relationship becomes. And that brings the ultimate joy because you begin to realize that none of this stuff we worry about really matters. I have my health. I have my children, my family, a roof over my head, the ability to provide and make choices. I can laugh, I can sing, I can dance, I create, I breathe with ease and love. I am here. Be grateful. Be happy. Come along if you feel like a room without a roof. Woo woo. What's she talking about, Wanda?
She's talking my language.
Look at self, honor self, know thyself, respect thyself, and when you see your circumstances, what? Look at self first.
Hey, you know what? Because we're all our own experience. Any way you look at it, you're your own experience. And some people will say, I will speak about selfish people. And those people are really loving themselves, quite frankly. And so many of us, we don't love ourselves. But when we become aware that all it takes is us to make us happy and nobody else make us happy, and in other words, everything we think, eat, feel, whatever, is our own experience that we're creating within ourselves. And all we have to do is to return to the heart. The heart and use the heart to discriminate.
Come out of the brain, come out of the thought. Them thoughts will convince you to turn away from your own heart. Them thoughts will get you to run over here and believe something that you've been believing for years that no longer serving you. And you're battling with your own self. You tell your thoughts what to think. You tell your feelings what to feel. And you tell your body how to respond. We're talking about taking back control of your own external being that you see, that holographic projection, that's matter. Don't let it rule you. It really doesn't have a consciousness at all.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems that way.
Responsibility, the ability to respond.
That's it. Rachel, how that sound to you, what this young lady put out? Powerful, wasn't she? She on it. She said, what?
I'm going to say this. Yeah, that's a high frequency there. But the image that came to me, because Lord, how many times I have to say this? When people start blaming, one finger is pointing. This is what your parents would say, those that are aware. You point one finger at somebody else because of your issues or challenges you have, but the rest of them is pointing back at you. Look at yourself. Go in the mirror and correct that self. How can anybody love you? You don't love yourself.
Ooh, make it plain, make it plain,
love yourself,
make it plain.
why don't you? If you don't like what you see, change it. Take the mask off your face. Why don't you go repaint another one and make it better?
Get better and make it better and make it better. Sounds like, because you got to put yourself into the zone. You have to ask yourself. And I think to me, that's why I love sharing the information from JC. And so I do want you to go out to the website on that first page and look at that principles, the 5 principles of being in the zone. And so when you're looking to make a change and you're looking to move forward, instead of letting your brain thoughts move you and direct you and guide you, and you want to focus on the heart, then you can focus on these 5 principles, and that will keep you in the vibration, a very strong, high vibration of love and life for yourself. Because when you find yourself with these low frequency thoughts and you spilling out all these words that have this low energy with them, you want to be able to shift your energy quickly. So we are asking you, being in the zone of love means you consciously create your experiences by a knowingness vibration of conscious living through living consciously. JC gives us 5 principles for being in the zone of love, and they are 1. We are all 1, 2, love is all there is. 3, and what is. If you see it as a negative, turn it around, find a good in it, and see what the gift is that is bringing you. And number 4, gratitude. When you can have gratitude for what you found out about yourself and you make that change to make it positive, or you see the positive in you and you expand that, have gratitude for that. And with that gratitude, you know you are already happy. So that's why we say, just get happy. Get that vibration in you. Get your cells dancing and feeling good, because they respond to you, that energy, that vibration that you put out in feelings, words, and thoughts. Your cells are responding. So you want to pay close attention to what you're thinking. So we're asking you to come join us as we share with you information to help you be happy, because nobody else can do this for you. And so learning the principles of the 5 principles, that's how we're going to be doing this. So we invite you again to go out there, listen to on the YouTube channel, listen to Light Energy John Christopher, and come be a part of this conversation and let us know how you're making the shift. Woo woo. Yeah, I think David is on the line listening in. So we got a few more minutes that we can share before we bring David in. So I want to take this time to, again, I want to always thank, and I haven't been doing it much, but I want to remind our community that the Washington Informer newspaper in Washington, D.C. is very much a part of my movement, supporting me the same way the Far Southeast Collaborative has been doing for the past 10 years. I've been partnering with the Washington Informer for the past 20 years, and I do frequently put articles in there. They do ask me to write articles, and even though mine is over in the conscious non-circular science of medicine, giving you an opportunity to look at how you've been looking at the old paradigm in healthcare, I'm thankful for their sponsorship. They keep an ad in the paper so the community will know about this radio show, and we are partnering to do some more things within the Washington Informer coming in 2014. We're going to have the quantum effect, a whole separate insert that's going to be put into the Washington Informer to assist our community with conscious self-health care, and why we say you can move forward from disease thinking, because you are creating cellular malfunctions. It's not a disease, and you can correct them. It's time to wake up, love yourself, and move forward with some good things.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So this weekend, this Saturday, I'm going to be speaking on a panel, and it's free. It's offered by the National Black United Front, It's called Health and Wellness on a Budget. It'll be this Saturday, November the 23rd, from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Capitol View Library. That's 501 Central Avenue Southeast. 3 people on the panel, myself, Dr. Yu, and I forget the other ND that's on the panel, but we're going to be there giving information to assist you with if you feel like you're on a budget and you can't get to health and wellness because you're thinking that way, we're going to help you understand how you can move beyond that thought and be able to create the health paradigm that you want. Also this weekend, the One Love Equals True Change community. They're having a Heroes Award where they are honoring individuals in the community. They're celebrating their community, the heroes that's in the community in all areas and walks of life, humanity, health, science, the whole gamut. They put on events throughout the whole year. This is their final event for this year where they have asked people in the community to nominate other people in the community to receive the awards. And even though that I won't be able to be there, I'm being honored there. And one of my longtime students, Intisar Manure, she's going to be there to accept my award for me. And it's all one family. We all saying the same thing, a return to love, letting your heart vibrations be there for you to move forward. And so that's what it's all about. So look out if you can, come to those events, spread the word, and let's raise our vibration. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back and talk to our special guests. David M. Hurt from the Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment.
Do you feel lost? Do you feel out of sync? Could it be that you are experiencing electromagnetic sensitivity? Yes, electromagnetic sensitivity. Could man-made frequencies interfere with cellular activity and melatonin production? We are beings of frequency, light, and information, and you are your own experience. Do not conform any longer to the patterns of man-made mindset of human consciousness. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Schedule your Nest Provision Human Body Field Scan with Dr. K, 202-248-7749. Visit the website forcelllife.com, the number 4celllife.com. Have the courage to expand your horizon and reprogram your cellular activities. Call Dr. K for your 15-minute wellness consultation, 202-248-7749.
Jamal just keeps that body moving, You are tuned in to Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K, right here on the airways of Inner Light Radio. My regular friends joining me in the chat room is Wanda Whitaker, anchored in spirit, Pacifica, California, and Miss Rachel Pope, Blessings Flow Empire, Waldorf, Maryland. And once again, I'm Dr. Karen Khadijah Davis-Foulks. They call me Dr. K. And I'm from Washington, D.C., and it's all about moving from disease care to conscious self-health care, because the truth of the matter is, family, unapologetically, bodaciously, you do not have a disease. You are creating cellular malfunctions that you can correct. Trust and believe in your higher self and let that take hold of your human self and align yourself. And so we are energy and information. We are a part of the field of life, and everything is connected. And we have David M. Hurt from the Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment, a master astrologer, and he is going to talk to us about the full moon. And people are feeling a certain way, and they may not understand why they feel in a certain way, because one, they're not seeing who they are. But David is going to share with us about the full moon. But before David do that, I wanted to ask David, would he share with us, because he's been a panelist on our Inner Journey Health Forum twice, our one in December and the one that we just had here in Washington, D.C., where we brought Tim Morrow right here from Inner Light Radio, University of Common Sense. He came through Washington, and we had our November discussion about moving forward, and David was on that Inner Journey panel. And I'd like for him to just share about that panel, the discussion, and how he think it would benefit people to continuously come into our Inner Journey forums, and then share with us about the full moon. David, welcome back to Heart2Heart Healthy Living.
Great evening, peace, light, and love to everybody, and it's wonderful to be here. Yes, it is.
Hey, thank you. And I forgot, this is your first time on the new show, Heart2Heart Healthy Living. You've been on Health Talk, Health Wise.
Here we go. Here we go. Roll
Welcome,
out.
Dave. Loving you. Love your talk you did at ISC this weekend about the full moon. It was fantastic. It had a lot of people looking at themselves and how they've been thinking about things. And so excited that you're back here to join with us and helping somebody maybe understand why they're feeling the way they feel. But again, before you talk about the full moon, share with us about your experience on the Inner Journey panels and what we've been doing.
The panel was so awesome. I'm going to try to do my best to get words to put a frame around it, but the resonance in the room was so high. I mean, if the people were open enough to it, they could have been healed right there on the spot without hardly doing anything. Just coming out, making that conscious intent to be with like-minded people, and then the information that was shared, the speakers were all connected, and I just thought it was awesome. I said, this is what the spirit looks like when it's moving. When everybody's on the same page, and they're all coming from different disciplines, different directions, different places, but they all were focused in the same direction. We were one people that day. Oh, it was just too beautiful. I mean, the things that they said about the modalities that they were using, the main speaker was an herbologist, I believe.
Yeah, Tim Morrow, herbologist, yes.
He was so good. It was amazing to me. And I said, things like this are happening in the world, right here in Washington, D.C., but the people just need to get out and hear it. Because of the stuff that he has, it was like, if you were living in the old times, you would think it was a miracle. But it's an everyday occurrence. And everything that you're saying, Dr. Karen, is on point, on time. Whew. I can't say enough.
Wow. It was fantastic. I mean, y'all, the panel, David Hurt, Manifest Raw, Dr. U, Coy Dunstan, Mama Ayo, Handy Kendi, Dr. Kakai Patterson, all became one. People got a chance to write their whole prescription plan out. And when the panel was over with, they asked the questions, they got the answers. Sometimes I filtered the questions back to the individual, which made them expand themselves even more. And so that was a wonderful period. But I really enjoyed the gentleman that stood up and said, I got it. Because I asked people in the beginning of that discussion to look at what integrative medicine was to them and how they've been caring for themselves. And that's a question that I put forward to our listening audience tonight. What is integrative medicine to you and how are you using that? And so, the individuals got it. I know, Rachel, you was there and you got a visual and you can tell people a little bit about how that panel and you being on a caboose, bringing on board. And then I'm going to let David talk about the full moon. But Rachel, chime in because you give a visual and let people see, how that day was to you.
How should I put this? It was like these different lights was coming into a room. Everybody has the different colors that they bring into a room. And all those that are conscious is shining like the star, the sun, bright, and willing to share. They just beaming. You know how people be beaming? And you have some that their light were dark. And because it was low vibration, they didn't know what to expect. But the more you guys talked and made it plain for them to understand, they would lighten up a little bit more, because they didn't know, that they didn't have the knowledge of knowing. And then they started to birth this new growth, and then they started getting inquisitive and asking these questions of the unknown they never heard of. Something so simple, something so plain as breathing. What? Breathing would do that? Someone with sleeping problems. All their questions were addressed. And like I said, it's about you. What are you going to do? You are your own doctor. Just like what's his name? The herbalist.
Tim Morrow, iridologist and herbalist. Tim Morrow. Mm-hmm.
When he mentioned about the dog. And I just got this visual, in the country. Think about it, y'all. Anybody with a dog, when they get sick, what they do? They take care of themselves and go eat the grass. They don't go to the doctor to take the pill. You force them to take the pill. But he still go outside to go eat the grass after you gave him the pill, so he know where he come from the earth, he's going to eat that grass. He's like, wait a minute, no. Let me get, what you call it, a little stick with a little sack in the back. Oh, I'm going outside. I got my herbs right here.
Make it plain, make it plain, make it plain. So, we have a great time at these helpful. Rachel, you did a good job. I like that color technique that you brought people in with. That was awesome.
That's
Wanda, you was a part of the first program that we did in 2012, and you come home every year for the holidays, and so you're going to be here in December, and we're going to be doing our 4th Inner Journey Health Forum. And so before David come on and share real quick, Wanda, what you feel about all this in the forums?
I think it's fantastic. Just the information that is departed from all of the panelists is just so inspiring, because so many people are uninformed. And this process is collaborative, number one, and you're getting a lot of good information that you're not going to get from the medical industry, nor are you going to get it from your doctor. And so you can go to a place of being informed in which you can help yourself now. You can assist yourself with that knowledge, and that's why these panels are so very, very important.
Yes, self-care movement. So, David, we're doing this part to let people realize that nothing is separate. That that song that say you are everything and everything is you. You better believe it. So, David, what is this full moon telling us and sharing with us?
Well, this is really a mixed bag full moon, but it's beautiful nevertheless. It's full moon in Taurus, and Scorpio will be the sun sign. And it's like, we can say, if we had a banner up for it, it would be for a move from fear to grace. And it's coming at the end of a long eclipse season. We just had a solar eclipse at the beginning of the month, and we had a lunar eclipse before that. We had some blue moons before that, and eclipses before that, and people were getting like, whoa, I'm getting hit left, right, center. Don't know which way to go. Everybody was ducking and running for cover. And just like the sister just said, they're afraid because they don't have information, or they believe they don't have the information. Now, Tim told a story at the beginning of his speech about a man who was locked in a refrigerated car, and they had a party, so nobody was there to let him out. And he was thinking that I got to get somebody to know that I'm here, or I could freeze to death. Now, as the night went down, he was banging on the door, yelling and screaming, and unfortunately, nobody came. And the next morning, they found him. He had transitioned in this boxcar with this guy he calls a Nick in the box. What Nick didn't know was that car, refrigeration car, was broken, and it had been disconnected. And so it wasn't freezing, and the temperature only went down to 61 degrees. But he had frozen to death. Now, I'm sharing that part of the story because the rest of it we don't have to get into. But the thing is just to show you how powerful your mind is when you think something, and your thoughts are where they come from, and they're following what you feel, which is not true. It's an error, but you don't know it because you won't look at it. And this is I also wanted to put this out there because I thought. I've been talking to some people that, have listened to your show before when I was on there, and they were a little confused about me talking about thinking versus feeling, and I said, I do not want to put that concept in your head. Your feelings aren't against your thoughts, your thinking process. They're all a part of your soul nature, and you have to learn how to use them all together in harmony. It's not thinking over feeling or feeling over thinking or willing taking the lead on any of those things. It's about learning how to use all of them at the appropriate times, and that's pretty much what this full moon is. Now, it just so happens that this full moon is also conjunct probably the most malevolent star in the heavens, if you will, and it could get you to thinking that, boy, if this is what we got coming for 2014, I need to go get me a helmet. But I'm going to give you a perspective of it. It's really about And that's, this full moon is also saying, let's get the message clear. You know, let's get the message clear and make it right, so you know exactly what you're dealing with. And like Dr. Karen told you, you're dealing with you. There's nothing else out there but you. Everything around you is consciousness, and that's what you are. You're the spiritual energy, and you decide how that energy is going to flow. Now, you can decide in ignorance. You can decide not to decide, and if you do that, you're still going to be part of the picture anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
Yes,
it's all
it
good.
is.
This full moon is just coming to keep you on your toes. It says you got a choice to make, like at all full moons, and you just have to recognize, I don't have to be traumatized by this just because on First Street I don't know what's going on.
All right. Why be traumatized anyway when you are the creator of it all? So when it looks like when it looks like what you don't want it to be, all you have to do is change how you have been looking at it. You get to change it. You know, you get to do something different in your consciousness so that your physical body can respond to it the way that you have it, because it's always the mental equivalent. So you have to go within yourself and whatever it is in life that you're looking at, and you don't like what you see, you honor it, you embrace it, you bring it into your own being, you learn from it, and you incorporate it, and you create something different.
There it is. There it is all the way.
So we're connected to the full moon.
We're connected to everything. The full moon is just the resonance of who you are, and since you don't understand the signs and the symbols, that's why they were put there, to remind you. It's not that it's causing you to do this. It's not making you do this. It's like a mirror. The signs in the heavens are a mirror of how you're living on Earth, either consciously or unconsciously. But it's going to give you back the reflection. That's what shows up in your life, how you feel. The moon rules feelings. It's all about feelings, and if you can hear it, the Great Mother God, whatever that looks like to you, that's at the center of this whole subject. And connected with the Great Mother God is everything that's fertile, everything that's beautiful, everything that's fruitful. All the good and best things that you can come to, that's connected with this Great Mother. We are, as you say, human beings having a physical experience, but we're really spirit. A human being is a spiritual entity. Living on the physical plane, we tend to think that's all there is. And even if we abstractly say, I'm spirit, I'm conscious, you look at the way you live your life, and you don't give too much credence to that spirit. You don't feed it. You don't pay attention to it. You don't honor it. So how real is it to you, really? That's just a smaller question. But the bigger thing is, what are you giving attention to? Because this full moon, Taurus, the moon is exalted in astrological jargon, but Taurus is about having things. It's about being in possession of something. And so the question is, what is it that you want to possess? Or I should say that's 50% of the question. The other half is saying, what is it that you already have that you're not honoring?
I like that.
Like you already touched on. You have so much that you're not paying attention to. And the having isn't just about the things that you have. What you have is love. That belongs to you. What you have is a wonderful mind. And these are just the starting points, because it can get better if you will it. If you will it. But you realize, just like the mother does when she has a child, she looks at that creation and she beams with pride and happiness and joy. And she becomes attached to that creation. And we're not going to say that there's something wrong with that attachment, are we? No, because that's a natural thing. But as the child grows older, we have to create space for that child to become what it came into the world to become. We can't pigeonhole it, put it to a chain and say, you have to do this. And this is what we're seeing in our system, in our society, all over the world. It's not just individuals, it's happening in families, it's happening in cities, in the villages. It's happening in states, countries, counties. Everybody is trying to put this chain down. And this is the fear that we're living in.
Yeah.
This is the
The
fear that we want to
illusion.
come out of. Yeah.
We want to come out of this false illusion that we have been told is our reality. And even that information is shifting. And so what people, I think, David, this information that you gave is really so on point, because what people are doing, they are not looking at the fact that they still have free will. They have the common sense that they can use. They can reason differently, and they don't have to follow this old paradigm that's been given to us for the past 400 years. We do have free will in every area of our lives. We do not have to conform to anyone's belief system that we feel no longer serves us. The reality of it is we are often so blind to our own patterns that we do not see that it is a habit of thought, of action, and response. Take a little time to listen to the words you say, the thoughts you think, and the picture you create. Life experiences mirror what you have in consciousness. You create the mental equivalent of your consciousness right here in your experiences right here on earth. Are you ready to question your beliefs, your knowledge, and your behavior? To experience something different in your life, you must first have it in consciousness. Yes, you will feel vulnerable, but remember, vulnerability is your greatest source of power. Changing your reality by changing your beliefs and what you've been holding on to. And yes, it's fear, because as you're moving forward, like you're saying, David, this moon is an opportunity for you to go past your five senses to the greatness of who you are. And as you're moving forward, you're going to feel your thoughts telling you, don't go there. Don't do that. You don't want to go over there. Come back here. You know what's about me. And you know those things don't serve you. So you want to listen to that heart nudge that says, yes, continue going forward. And as you move forward, you might see that, like you talked before, David, last month about that bright light. But that bright light is there to assist you. Just go on through it, and you'll be amazed at what you create on the other side.
You're like you choreographed this perfectly, yeah.
That was the universal principle.
I got to say something.
Go ahead, Rach.
with both of y'all. Oh my goodness! I had what you call a flashback or whatever. Oh my God, David! When you were talking about the moon and all this stuff and how it all relates to us, okay, I thought about when I was going through. At the time, I didn't know. That's when I didn't know anybody in the community, and I had to go to this park and make myself walk because I was trying to find out how did I get to this point. And, it was this beautiful rock, and I sat there at the edge of the pond, and I was able to look through, and I was seeing the tadpoles, and I was seeing the little fish, and I was seeing the ducks, and I was seeing the turtles, and I was sitting there looking at that thing. I said, God made some beautiful things here. I started thinking about that thing, the Creator, how He made all these things. And here man tried to tell me, pot this pill, pot that pill. I was sitting there counting how many I was taking and how I got worse and worse. I said, you know what, I got to make a decision because this is not me. Look what God created. If He could do this and He can make, as the story say, the woman out of man and all this creation and the moon. I started looking at all these things He made. Can man really mimic all this? Oh, wait a minute. Let me make a change.
Let me make a change.
Let me make a change. Stop taking the medication. Let me get back and renew myself. Yeah, stories out there that I'm dead. Yeah, a new one is becoming of me. And I changed. That's when I changed on that rock. Looking at nature.
Sitting on the rock.
Yes,
foundation. That's at least it's not quicksand. People floating. You was on a rock. That was good.
I
was
on a solid rock, man. That rock, that's my rock. I very rarely share that with folks. I take them there,
Well, that's what this time does. It makes us be vulnerable to let out this information so it can assist someone. So someone can go out into nature. They can moonlight. Can't they sit on the moon and moon gaze just like the sun gaze, David?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the imagery that Rachel just put up is so on point. It reminds me of something I read in Scripture when Yeshua said that He was going to build His church on this foundation, the rock. Mm-hmm. Now, the Roman Catholic people took that over, like, yeah, that's us. He was talking about us. But actually, that saying came from way back with the Sumerians. And So it's not something that is the so-called Christians have a handle on. Because Yeshua is a universal principle.
Mm-hmm.
He was a universal man. You know, he was the spirit over everything. So I'm thinking, on that rock, that's what your faith is. And the tip of what you're up against, what you've already touched on, is that you know that the lightning is going to hit that tower that you built up. And it's going to have to come down because you had this attachment to something that isn't what it's all about. You have created, with all those wonderful powers you have, you've created this illusion that what is isn't.
It's not what it looks like. That's what JC talks about, and that's what we're sharing too. It's not what it looks. If it ain't love, it's not what it looks like.
and death is something to embrace too, because it's part of life.
Yes.
Our understanding of it, you know, people have this dark, shadowy thing that it's negativity and you're going to hell and all that other stuff. But all of that's all in your imagination.
Because your
energy, what you think and believe it is.
Your energy and your light and your information, and that's what you go back to. You may leave this coat. So how do you want to live in this coat, family? This is Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K. We're talking with David Hurt from the Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment, Wanda Whitaker, Anchored in Spirit out in Pacific, California, Rachel Pope out in Waldorf, Maryland, Blessings Flow Empire, and I'm Dr. K, and we're talking about conscious self-health care. We're talking about moving from disease care to conscious self-health care. So you want health? Change the way you look at things. You are light, energy, and information. Your body is only suffering from poop. That's what all diseases are. Poop, too much waste in the body, and you're afraid to trust and know that you govern this body. So we want to help you make that shift. That's what we're doing here on this show, Heart2Heart. That's what Wanda does in her practice and her service to the community, Rachel and David up at the Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment. So we're inviting you to come on board this friendship train of healthcare freedom. We're on a Harriet Tubman's ride, and y'all know there's no greater ride than the Harriet Tubman's ride, family and community. We ain't going to hold you prisoner. We just want you to be on this train ride in love and happiness. But once you come on board.
Toot, toot.
It's the age of awakening, you know?
Age of awakening. Wanda, you've been quiet. What you been thinking about, Wanda? What you know,
I was just listening to the conversation. As David was talking, I was thinking about all of the survivors of the typhoon and in the Philippines, and also the tornadoes here in the Midwest. And now they have no material possessions, but they have awakened to the fact that there is one commodity that everybody needs, and that is love. And we get to participate in all of that. I do see a paradigm shift, and it started for me. One of the things was the other day when we had the Bat Kid in San Francisco, the Make-A-Wish Foundation actually planned a series of events for this little kid that was suffering from cancer, could be a hero, an avenger. We called him the Bat Kid, and everybody played their part in this scenario. It took over the entire city, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people participated. And they actually named the San Francisco Chronicle the Gotham paper the next day to celebrate all of this. And then I just heard another story about a young kid who identified himself or herself as they, because they didn't feel that they was a he or a she, and they wore a skirt. Okay, listen to the story. Now, after wearing the skirt to work, one of the kids inflamed the skirt and set the guy on fire, and he ended up with third-degree burns. But the fact of the matter is, all of the school kids from all of these different schools participated in showing this young person love.
You're right.
It was remarkable how the community responded. And the kid that burnt the kid, now he's very sorry. He's very remorseful. He didn't know why he did it. And so it's amazing to me.
It was to bring love. It was to bring love and show that we are all in this together. So family and community, you know, like I said, David, we want to thank you for joining us. David is at the Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment. He's there. They give workshops up there. They're located at 6233rd Street Northwest, Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment. That phone number there is 202-291-5282. If you want to talk further with David, get a reading, understand where you are, please give him a call at the Institute. Thank you for joining us. We got about 2 minutes to closing. So I want to thank you for listening in, audience, and I like your emails and comments that you sent us through the week. We are assisting you with moving forward, moving from disease care consciousness to a consciousness of self-health care, taking on some of the responsibility, if not all of the responsibility, because no one can create health in your life but you and everything that you do. And that's what this show is all about, reminding you of how great you are. The light that's inside of you is you. God is a frequency, 528 megahertz, and so are you. And we are all in this together, and we are supporting each other. So a thought that I'd like for you to think up until next week is, if health was someone you love, someone that you care totally about, that you give all in all to, then ask yourself, how are you treating yourself? What are you really doing with health? If health was someone you love, how have you been treating yourself? And see what changes you can make and how you can write a new prescription. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, David. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for listening in. And remember, tune in next week and visit us on Facebook. Thank you.
Shake a hand, shake a hand. Well, talking about the friendship train. Shake a hand, make a friend. People listen to us now. Harmony is the key. My sisters and brothers. Oh, yes, it is. I said harmony is the key. My sisters and brothers. People, we can't wait, 'cause another day might be too late. Come on, get on the friendship train. Everybody, shake a hand, shake a hand.
Greetings, family. We had a great time today on Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K. Thank you so much for tuning in, getting happy, getting healthier. So we invite you to tune in next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Inner Light Radio, the healing frequency. It is time to get happy, to be healthy, and live the life that you want to live. Tune in again next week, Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K. And we also invite you to tune into the Saging Baby Boomer Show with Mama Ayo Handy Kendi. That's every Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on InnerLightRadio.com, the healing frequency. It's all about love, family, and community. Love is all there is, and we are one.